the middle of the night in a quiet Kansas town. The streets are empty, the neighborhood is silent. Inside a small brick house, a young father suddenly wakes up in pain. At first he thinks maybe he rolled onto something in his sleep. But the burning sensation across his chest is getting worse. So he gets up, walks into the bathroom, and turns on the light. When he looks in the mirror, he freezes. Because across his chest are 3 deep scratches. Long, fresh, bleeding. And he knows one thing for certain. He didn't make them. Tonight we're stepping inside one of the most famous haunted houses in America. A place where investigators claim toys move by themselves. Voices appear on audio recordings. And some believe the spirit of a young girl may actually be something far darker in disguise. This is the story of the Sallie House. Step right up. Behind the curtain of the ordinary lies a world most people refuse to see. Whispers in empty halls, shadows where no one stands, footsteps that follow when you're alone. Tonight, the lights dim and the gates of the carnival open once again. Welcome to Dark Carnival Paranormal, where we explore haunted places, unexplained mysteries, and the stories that refuse to stay buried. Here is your host, and tonight's attraction begins now.
Alright guys, welcome to our first podcast/podcast video. We're going to give this a shot, but in this one, we're going to start out our podcast with talking about the Sallie House. As many of you know, I have been to the Sallie House before. We are in talks of something that we'll get into later in the video. But basically, the whole podcast is just going to be about paranormal stuff, our investigations, stories of paranormal places, and stuff like that. Maybe in the future, we'll have guests on the podcast to talk about their experiences or whatever in the paranormal. But for now, we want to start our first episode with the Sallie House. However, before we get into the house itself, we need to talk about the town where it's located, because the town of Atchison, Kansas, already has a reputation for being one of the most haunted towns in America. Atchison sits along the Missouri River about an hour north of Kansas City. Today it's a quiet historic town filled with old homes and buildings that date back to the 1800s. But many of those buildings come with stories. Stories of shadow figures seen in empty hallways, stories of voices heard in abandoned rooms, stories of people feeling watched when no one else is around. Atchison is even the birthplace of famous aviator Amelia Earhart, and her childhood home is now a museum. But according to locals, the paranormal reputation of the town goes far beyond a single haunted location. Over the years, multiple buildings in the area have developed reputations for paranormal activity. Hotels, theaters, historic homes, but among all of them, one house stands above the rest. a small brick home on North 2nd Street, a house that many investigators say contains one of the most disturbing hauntings they've ever experienced. Now, when we were there, like in Atchison, I didn't really see any other haunted places. I mean, there's like a historic society or whatever there. So there are other places, but I don't know what they are. We didn't really look into it, which we should have. But like when we went to the Monroe house, there was a jail that was right around the corner. That I actually found out. You know what? We'll save that for another podcast. But I found out some cool things about that jail that I kind of want to go back.
Are you allowed to go into the jail?
Yeah, you pay to go in, stay the night.
Oh.
Yeah, just never did it for some reason. But yeah, maybe we'll look more into Atchison. See what other locations are out there. If it really is like a big ghost town. I mean, not really a ghost town, but
Home of a lot of paranormal activity.
yeah. But she's going to give you the legend of Sallie.
According to the legend, the haunting of the Sallie House began with a tragic medical emergency more than 100 years ago. The story says that someone in the early 1900s, a young girl named Sallie, was brought to a doctor who lived in the home. She was suffering from severe abdominal pain. The doctor reportedly believed her appendix had ruptured and that emergency surgery needed to be performed immediately. Because there was no hospital nearby, the doctor allegedly began the surgery inside the home. But the story says something went horribly wrong. Sallie died during the operation. And according to paranormal legend, her spirit never left the house. Some say her ghost became angry and restless. I mean, I would too if you just openly operated on me in a house.
Especially being that young and not really being able to, like...
You can't really talk for yourself at that point.
Yeah,
Because you don't know what's going on.
You can't say no.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch me. I mean, you can, but at the end of the day, you're a child.
Yeah, so
Your
you're...
parents are going to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And plus, with it being the 1900s, I mean, not only her being a child, but her being a female, I mean, they really didn't care.
Females really didn't have a voice yet.
Yeah.
Others say she simply became trapped there. But here's where things get interesting. When historians began digging into the story, they found no confirmed record of a girl named Sallie dying in that house, which raises an important question. If the story isn't historically documented, then where did the legend come from? And why do so many people claim to experience paranormal activity there? To answer that, we need to jump forward to the early 1990s, because that's when the haunting of the Sallie House would become famous.
I mean, I will confirm that, because when we first went, I was trying to dig up some kind of information, which, I mean, you got that first story about the doctor and all that. But, like, when you would look up her name to try to, like, find her, there was nothing. Like, no gravesite, nothing.
Unless,
they hid it, but...
and maybe that's why you're not allowed to go into the basement.
Yeah, but I mean, Sam and Colby did.
Yeah, but they could have, like, hid it somewhere, like, under the concrete or something. Or, like, dug out a part of the wall and just shoved her in there.
I mean, there were a lot of rituals that were done in that basement. I heard that's one of the reasons why they closed off the basement, was because of all the rituals that happened down there. Because if you remember, if you ever watched the Sam and Colby one, there was an outline of the pentagram painted into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they could have just closed it up because of that. But all I'm saying is, I'm saying that right on camera, they need to just open the basement back up. Seriously. Because, I mean, when we went, yeah, we caught some cool stuff. But, like, the really, like, active part was right in that doorway for the basement. That's, like, where most of the activity is. And it's like, I understand keeping people safe. But at the same time, you really think they're going to stay in the basement?
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're signing a waiver anyways, and a contract or whatever anyways.
You should have free roam to the whole house.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my opinion. I do love the house. I do love the people that, set it up. But come on. Just open the basement. Please. We'd love to go there and investigate again and be able to go into the basement because it hasn't been opened up in a long time.
Yeah, and the boys literally just went there and it's still blocked off.
Yeah. Which is kind of bogus. I mean,
I feel like they'd get more people if they opened up the basement.
that's kind of what deterred me away for a while. Because if that's like one of the most haunted parts of the house,
The most active
I want to
part.
go down there.
Right,
But if you tell me I can't go down there, then obviously I can't go down there.
right.
I mean, I could, but I get in trouble. Probably would never be invited back. Which, if I get one good video, that'd be okay. Not saying I'm going to do that. Unless you give me permission. But, yeah, I don't know. I think if that's your most active spot, and personally, I feel like that was the most active. I mean, we got some stuff in the bedroom upstairs, and that's where Jay got sick, but I don't know. I
I feel like really any place you go, it's always the basement. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Like even, wasn't in the Conjuring house, wasn't the basement the most active there? Or like that room where...
Yeah, it was the most, like, demonic.
Yeah.
But the most active is that bedroom, or the living room where the... I can't remember her name.
Annabelle?
No. The mom.
Oh.
She got thrown across the room. But... So, in 1993, a young couple named Tony and Deborah Pickman moved into the house. They had just welcomed a newborn baby and were excited to start their life together. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal. The house was small but comfortable. The neighborhood was quiet, but within a few weeks, strange things began happening. Deborah started noticing that toys would move by themselves, lights would flicker, objects would appear in places she didn't remember leaving them. And at first, she brushed it off. Old houses make noises, things shift. But the activity slowly began escalating, and it began focusing on one person in particular, Tony. I didn't really experience the whole lights flickering, toys moving. None of that happened. And I don't even really think that happened with Sam and Colby either. I didn't really notice any of it. I mean, it could have happened, and we weren't paying attention, but...
I feel like even...
But we were on live, so
I was
even
gonna
if we
say,
didn't
even
catch
if
it...
you didn't catch it, somebody would have.
Yeah.
One of the cameras or something would have caught something.
I mean, we got a lot of orbs. That's about it.
Yeah. Tony started waking up in the middle of the night with strange marks on his body. Scratches. Sometimes small, sometimes deep enough to bleed. At first he assumed he might be scratching himself while asleep, but the scratches kept appearing, and they were often in places he couldn't easily reach. Eventually something even stranger began happening. Tony claimed he started seeing a small girl in the house. A little girl standing in the hallway, watching him. Sometimes she appeared angry, sometimes just scared. But the activity soon became more aggressive. Objects were thrown across the room, pictures fell off the walls, And investigators who later visited the house reported that the activity seemed directly at Tony.
Which, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if the legend is true with the doctor was male, and Tony is obviously male, I mean, I could see how she'd be freaking out.
But wouldn't you think then when you went there, or Sam and Colby, or even the boys,
That something would happen.
she would have targeted you guys. And when you guys went, she targeted Jay. Or something targeted Jay.
Yeah.
She would have gone for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt comfortable. I literally felt like I was at my grandma's house. To be honest. I mean, I know you're not going to catch things every single time you go somewhere, but I don't know. For being as famous as it is, I was kind of hoping for more. We didn't really push it as much as we did with Monroe. But eventually the Pickmans contacted paranormal investigators, and what they documented inside the house only made the case more mysterious. Investigators reported hearing footsteps when no one was walking. They captured strange sounds on audio recordings, and some claimed they felt sudden bursts of intense anger or aggression while inside the home. But the most disturbing part of the investigation involved the scratches on Tony. Some investigators began to suspect something unusual about the entity in the house. Instead of a child spirit, they believed the entity might be something darker, something pretending to be a child, something that fed on fear and attention. Some paranormal researchers even suggested the possibility of demonic activity, which would explain the violent scratches and aggressive behavior. I wouldn't be against knowing that. Not against knowing that, but I would believe it. Because a lot of demonic things take form of children or things that are more...
Things that are easier to...
Something that you'll open up to. So, and that also, I understand what you were saying earlier, but that also goes back to not finding any information on Sallie.
Yeah.
It's like that name just got, pulled out somewhere. But there was a doctor that did own that house. I pretty sure I remember I did research that. But nothing of Sallie came up.
Of course, not everyone believes the Sallie House is haunted. Skeptics argue that the scratches on Tony could have been self-inflicted. Okay, but if he can't reach the spot, how is he gonna scratch?
Yeah, they did say, some of the spots were hard for him to reach. So,
And you're not just gonna, break your arm in your sleep.
But in the way that you have to do it, there's no way you're gonna get deep scratches.
Yeah, no. Others say the legend of Sallie may have been created after the haunting became famous.
Which, is a thing. If you talk about something so much, it can manifest.
Yeah.
So, that could be the case, but you never know.
Environmental factors like electromagnetic fields can sometimes cause people to feel paranoid, anxious, or even hallucinate. And some skeptics believe the story may have simply grown larger over time through media attention and paranormal television shows. But here's the interesting thing. Even many skeptics admit something strange about the house, because investigators who visit the house often report similar experiences. Cold spots, strange noises, the feeling of being watched, and in some cases, scratches appearing on people during investigations.
I definitely didn't have any scratches.
Yeah, neither did Jay. Jay just had a headache.
Yeah. So.
And I'm not trying to target Jay, but I can't talk for Jay, because I'm obviously not Jay, but I've watched the video, And I mean, Jay just felt really emotional, and then she got like a really bad headache and got nauseous.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that girl was popping Excedrin like it was Tic Tacs to try to feel better. But this is the part of the video that is kind of exciting. I mean, we kind of talked about it throughout a little bit, but hopefully soon we will be conducting our own paranormal investigation inside the Sallie House. Me again, her for the first time. We'll be setting up cameras, running EVP sessions, and testing whether the stories surrounding the Sallie House are true. Is the spirit of Sallie really inside the house, or is something else responsible for the strange activity reported here? We are hoping to do the Sallie House soon. I really want to do it again. I want to see if we can't catch more. Plus, I got a lot more equipment now. A lot more cameras that can be set up. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do a live stream again. That was rough. That was a lot of work. Especially having to do it off of my computer. That was rough. But yeah, we're hoping soon we can go do an investigation. And we got a lot more coming. I know it's been taking us some time since Nightmare on Main, but we're hoping to get a lot more going here soon. And in the future, locations may be changing, maybe traveling a little bit more, so it'd be fun. Stick along for the ride. And she's going to go ahead and close out this podcast.
the Sallie House remains one of the most debated paranormal cases in America. Some believe it's haunted by the spirit of a young girl. Others believe the activity may be something far darker. But until we step inside that house ourselves, the truth remains unknown. Until next time, the carnival lights are going out, but the darkness is just beginning. This has been Dark Carnival Paranormal.
Dark Carnival!